Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Cosmic Panel, where today we're going to be discussing Superman, a hit movie released by James Gunn, the start of the new DC universe. I guess maybe the movie side of things. The TV show side already started. But yeah, me, Elias, and Balti have all watched the movie. Elias got to watch it a little bit early, which I will kill him for.
Because I'm special.
Yeah.
And then there's Balti, who just watched it around the same time I did.
Just got out of it. Pretty much just less than an hour before we're recording this. Yeah, and he got the refreshing.
Hey guys, everybody roast Lukas in the comments for spending $60 on Superman theater shit.
Chill.
Hey, but this popcorn
Stupid
bucket,
sheep.
which really shouldn't be a popcorn bucket, let's be honest here, is really cool.
Looks really hard to get stuff out of.
It does honestly. But the cool thing is there's another flip side with crypto.
Well, that should be the side that you leave on it.
Well, yeah.
He's a piece of shit dog.
He's so badly trained and I kind of love it.
It's really
wait, before
good.
we talk about the movie though, Elias, talk about live streams.
Yeah, so at least once a week we have live claim sales on Instagram at the Cosmic Panel on there, and try to have a different theme every week. Usually let you guys vote on the theme. So we just did a $5 and $10 book blowout this week, and next weekend you guys will pick the theme again. So lots of cool stuff always coming in. I got a bunch of CGC slabs coming in hopefully by next week. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, always new inventory coming in and new stuff to get from us. So great way to support us. You can also check us out on eBay at the.cosmic.panel.
Yeah. And now let's get into the movie. Spoilers galore, obviously. Don't watch this movie review unless you have watched the movie. But yeah, let's give a one sentence blurb about what we thought of the movie. I can start first. I think this is my ideal Superman movie, as close to it as I can get. There aren't many things that I can nitpick out of it. Elias?
My one sentence is a very fun movie that just felt a little disjointed.
What about you, Balti?
All right. I was just gonna say, James really don't miss, especially not lately. He's just been really killing it. So
James, the motherfucker who wrote Scooby-Doo 2, Gunn.
yeah.
Superman, though, I really did love this. There are a couple things. I mean, of course, I feel like I can rip into a movie, regardless of, what it is. Just, at this point, just because I've seen so much. But, I don't want to, which is...
Nothing's ever going to be flawless.
Exactly. Nothing's ever going to be flawless. This is as good of a Superman, a distilled 2-hour experience of Superman as you can get. You got the hope, the love, the idealism, the willpower, the sheer determination to continue doing right in the face of literally insane obstacles. For me, this summarized Superman in such a perfect way, especially for a new generation. I feel like this is going to be such an eye-opener for people that haven't really got to experience Superman that isn't dark and brooding and immediately edgy.
Yeah, actually Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of someone else's take on Superman, this is just Superman.
Even evil Superman isn't Homelander, which is kind of nice. I kind of appreciated that Ultraman wasn't just blowing through people and causing horrific shit, which they could have easily leaned into that.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that they did not. That it was just no, there's no people around. You don't need to worry about it.
And for a split second there, I thought they were going to do a Bizarro thing.
I also
Lex
thought
was
that.
He's really stupid, and I was like, Bizarro? And then they didn't, which I guess makes sense that would be a little too much in a dense movie.
I think it would have made sense, especially because it's just it would have explained. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to him coming back as Bizarro. I think that could easily happen. I mean, he went to a black hole, but that doesn't
Yeah.
That doesn't mean shit in comics.
Or
Like,
I mean there's a lot of room, and I mean we could talk about this later, but there's a lot of this room had a lot of like threads that they could follow into other movies, either other Superman movies or just other like DC movies.
yeah. I wanted to ask you specifically, Balti, did you get a lot of the references, or did you understand a lot? Since you're less, I would say, like comic, uh, less of a comic expert
Yeah.
than, let's say, me and Elias.
Yeah, I
I mean,
caught some of it.
I haven't read Superman, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you
I
would know
caught
like references. I feel
I
like.
caught some of it. I didn't probably didn't catch everything. But you know, there was a lot of stuff that um you know, I noticed and I liked, and it's my my as the I think the comic death, or guess the comic death episode, it is, I'm not a comic expert, but I have the most random patchwork of knowledge when it comes to these. So like some of the like I feel like I'm sure I probably got some, and then there were some really obvious ones that completely went over my head. Um but I think that's something that I like, because me, and then like I went with my family and Devin, and we like, they know even less about some things, and so I noticed how they appreciated a lot of it too, like the Ultraman thing. They did not like, going in. I knew what was, the second they say Ultraman,
Yeah, that makes
you know,
sense.
I know that, but they didn't, and so it was cool seeing like how it kind of, it worked for both of us in different
Superboy
ways, but
basically.
like the story still worked.
Yeah, he was just
Interesting.
Superboy,
Yeah.
like the clone that Lex uses to try and defeat
Hmm.
Superman.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elias.
I
What
was
What
like,
do you
okay, that's what
think?
they're gonna do.
Um, I thought it was a really fun time. I thought it was very enjoyable, but I couldn't take to heart a lot of like what he was going for. I think there was a little too much comedy for my liking. Um, to then also have like a political message, especially right now, that's very ham fisted. Like not ham fisted, but very on the nose. The the tone of those moments, I think, should be prioritized if you're trying to make a modern day statement with Superman. Um, and in my mind, there was a little too much comedy. And I know that's very much like maybe, complaining about a good thing, but like when I have like the MCU movies to go off of, especially with like James Gunn stuff, I want a different vibe and a different atmosphere from a DC movie that he does. And I just feel like when you have a serious, topic like that, like a war, a conflict like that, I would love to spend a little more time with that. Um, and I also just feel like it gets sidelined by a lot of other stuff. Like in my mind, this would have worked really well as a TV show. I know he's going for an all-star Superman thing, and I think as a result, like he's trying to juggle so many different conflicts and so many different storylines and so many different characters and all this other stuff that it's not, in my mind, um, uh, super effective for a Superman movie that's supposed to kick off a brand new, universe to have all this other stuff going on. I really
So
enjoy like the peripheral characters. Like I love Mr. Terrific. I love Metamorpho. It feels like they cut some Metamorpho stuff. Um,
yeah, I can get that.
it feels like they had more stuff to do with his kid and had more stuff to do with him. Especially when he, just shows up at the end to join the Justice Gang. Um, but for me, like this movie thrives with the obscure characters, and I know James Gunn thrives with the obscure characters. So I love, all the all the peripheral characters, all those small moments more than I really enjoy um like the Superman plot and just the basic quarrel between him and Lex.
Yeah. So I I think I have to disagree with you quite a bit, just because for me at least, um, the threads being left open made it feel like a living, breathing universe to me. It made it feel like, oh, this is something we can come back onto later on. Or, hey, we can tackle this later in another movie or series or whatever. Like, these are events and threads that are being kind of like spooled out by Gunn and obviously the other people working in the team, so that eventually they can just take those pieces that they want and like work with it. And I definitely can see what you're talking about the MCU. Like, the MCU has had a problem about like jokes just being like way too constant, stuff like that. I feel like it was specifically toned back for this one, which I liked more than James Gunn's other stuff, obviously. Uh, but I think it also is he purposefully did add comedy to it, just because, like I was saying earlier, the newer generation is more accustomed to a dark and gritty Superman, someone that's more like an authority figure rather than someone to look up to, and so to add that levity, that comedy, um, is to at least like dispel that image. While, yeah, like obviously the political messaging can seem on the nose. I think at this point you kind of need it to be at times for people to get it. And the funny thing is, I was talking to someone, and a lot of people are going to talk about this in the context of Israel versus Palestine. But the thing is, this was made during the Ukraine and Russia war had like happened, and like Palestine and Israel hadn't even started. So it's it's funny because it's
Well,
taking
not in the state that it
not
is now.
Not the current
yes, not the current one. Let me specify,
version of it.
not the current version of it that is currently ongoing, but they it's like being applied here. But the fact that it's able to be applied to multiple things, I think, really goes to speak. Just like sometimes having it simpler makes it so that the film can age well, regardless of what may happen. Because if the Russian Ukraine conflict had ended like right after they were done filming, like that doesn't ruin that doesn't make the commentary less impactful. You know what I mean? That's just the way I took it. I really enjoyed it, and I really digged Lex. I think Lex, as I was worried that they were going to sideline him. I really was worried that they were going to sideline him, and I thought he was one of the better portrayals of Lex in general. Just a man that wants to have his way, that sees Superman as something inferior, just because of the fact that he can't reach that level.
He was really fucked up. He
Yeah,
was really like they really pulled the like.
he crashed down in real
All right,
time.
you might
Okay, but I felt
kind of
bad
like
when the
he.
dog attacked him, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I mean, but you're like, okay, maybe like you can kind of see where he comes from, and you can kind of see, but they made sure to be like he goes too far, even where he might possibly be right, where you might be able, he still just kind of takes it way too far. He's too selfish. He's too like fucking insane, um, to really make it someone who, like, I feel like he really James Gunn really didn't want to make it like a Thanos situation
Yeah,
where people kind of agree with him and people are like, "Oh, maybe he has a point." It's like, no, he doesn't have a point.
no, he made him
He's
very
just
much like,
he's just a crazy guy.
weirdly enough, and I know this was before Elon Musk really got politically involved, but this felt very Musk coded
I
at
think that's
times.
I think that's something like for what you said and about how it was before and seeing sort of the interviews and people talking about it and James Gunn and the other actors I saw Nathan Fillion recently also like they seem almost a little surprised at the way that it's being taken. Like I don't think they meant it to be as
Political.
pointed as people are taking it. And I think that that might be some of what you might be like rubbing up against Elias with the humor and stuff. I think like you said, oh well, pull the humor back a little bit if you're trying to make that much of a point. I don't think he was. And I think and you're right. I think if you were trying to make that point, it is a little bit too much humor, but I think it's more of
He didn't expect it to go out this far.
yeah, it wasn't supposed to be this parallel to what's going on right now. I think it was just supposed to be sort of like something that you
An
could see
evil,
happening, but maybe not.
an evil CEO trying to take over a country.
Yeah, I mean, a couple years ago that did kind of seem crazy. I also think what you were saying, Lucas, about the like all of these threads and it making it feel more of a world, I really personally appreciated, because that's been my personal problem with a lot of the more recent MCU stuff, is how isolated everything feels after so many years of all these different
I mean, we
stories.
talked about it in
That,
Cap.
yeah, we talked about it. We talked about it in Thunderbolts too. We talked about it in Daredevil, like where, like, Kingpin takes over the city, and you go, "Where's Spider-Man? Where's the defense?" And it's like, "Oh, we can't, because that'd be too much for the story, or it would be too. We want to work it into the rights and all." Where this is just sort of like, yeah, there's other guys around. I love the scene where they're talking and there's just the monster in the back,
Yeah,
and the
that
Justice
was,
Gang are fighting it,
and they
like,
don't
because
even
it's like,
explain it. They're just like, it's a fourth
yeah,
dimensional imp. Which
yeah, it's just like,
they
okay,
wait,
yeah,
did they
like
say
that.
fourth dimensional or fifth dimensional?
I don't.
Because fifth dimensional, I would be like, I was like,
Some weird
yeah, I'm hoping they didn't choose Mr.
superhero crap.
Mixophilic for which. Oh my
I mean,
god,
it might not be him, but something from his. But like, it doesn't even matter,
yeah.
because the point is that this stuff happens over time. So I personally love that.
What I was trying to say was that I don't have
I
an
don't even remember
issue
what we were
with
talking
the war stuff being on the nose. I have an issue with like that being in the same like movie as Lex, as ridiculous as he is. Like, if we're gonna go cartoonish, I want to go cartoonish, and that's fun. Like, this feels very much like it could be, an old Superman cartoon. This feels like it could be that, but just a little more realistic. This feels like old like Superman animated style, which I think they could have fully leaned into and fully had fun with. And there's just like something about Lex that's just a little like too ridiculous to me. This is a lot more like the Christopher Reeves kind of Superman, or like some like '80s kind of Superman where it's like really over the top, and that's fun and that's fine. But like the Lex was just too much for me. Like Lex is just ridiculous. Like I want there to be somewhat of a motive, especially when he goes on as many rants and you know monologues as he does. Like I want there to be a little bit of a, oh, okay, like that's why he hates Superman.
But that's
It's
the
like,
thing. He doesn't have that in the comics, regardless. Though, like in the comics, he literally just hates Superman for the love of the game. Like,
Yeah, but I do see what
well,
Elias is
there's more
saying,
than a
where
reason.
this is the chance to do that. This is the chance to sort of get it together. And when you do, comics are, obviously, we all love comics, but they're they're not the best place to get, like, you have to sort of like filter everything and condense decades and decades worth of stuff into a movie. And sometimes you have to like make something new, where in comics you sort of assume, like, whatever, I'm starting in the middle of whatever I'm starting in.
And the movie has to
We'll
like
just go
appeal to
for
like
it.
a broader audience, so it has to like make some sense
Yeah, and
to the
yeah,
and the
audience.
movie has to make a story. It has to go. It has to go. Okay, we're not. This is the first one. We're not starting in the middle of whatever storyline, or like there's no movie before this. There's no, like, this is just what it is. And you do have work to do there with that.
I think the opening text sets that up pretty well. I know me and Elias have a disagreement on that, but I like the idea of like the opening text being like fairly simple, where it's like 300 years ago, metahumans started. 3 years ago, Superman came out. 3 hours ago, Superman just lost his first fight, or like
Yeah.
3 minutes ago, and then smash to Superman crashing in, which to me really worked for like a, this is, here's your quick catch up. This is a new universe.
Mhm.
We have metahumans. We have Superman. He's 3 years in. He just lost his first fight. Done.
Yeah, and
Like you get
it,
all the information that you need. That like perfectly, I think, at least for like
we know.
especially for someone that isn't us three that like are really into superheroes, is like the perfect, like, this is a condensed and as precise as you want to get.
They went too far with other things, but it's something that they did with Spider-Man in the MCU also, where they went a little too far, but originally they said, everyone knows Spider-Man's origin. We don't need to see it again. We don't need a whole other movie. Let's just get to the action. And I think this is the same thing where Superman, there's a couple people, and in the Batman movie they did that too, where, like, we know there's a couple heroes that everyone, even if you don't know comics, you know Superman's from another planet, you know Uncle Ben died,
There's a
you
couple
know Batman's
heroes.
parents got killed. We don't
Superman,
need to see that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I do like that, and I think it's really good for a story to sort of the important first Superman story is the first difficult fight, the first fight he's lost, the first like difficult time he's had, and you
Which
get the sense that like
3 years
fighting
is
monsters or whatever.
wild to go undefeated for 3 years, to be honest.
Yeah,
Kind of wild to
yeah,
the only and
and undefeated and nothing to even stress about. Like not even like, oh, I can beat this guy, but I'm gonna feel bad about it. It's like no, he's just living the
but
dream.
also like the man had to have a whole team just for him to even stand a chance against Superman. Like he literally had to have people basically dictating his every move just so that he wouldn't lose immediately.
Yeah,
Wild.
yeah, that was really good. I did appreciate how didn't they got a little wacky with it. You know, they got the big kaiju guy, you
Yeah.
know, the which I'm sure has some name
What a
or
fucking
niche stuff
brutal way to
knowing
kill
James
it
Gunn.
too. Oh god.
I know, yeah. But I like how like the Fortress of Solitude showing it like it just shows up. There's no need for an explanation. There's no like, you know, Mr. Terrific and Hawkgirl and Green Lantern. Like they're there. Like you don't need to explain why there are superheroes. I like that they didn't and some of the weirder stuff that they just went for. Like
Those are for
the
other movies and
monkeys.
shows.
Yeah, and the monkeys on the social media and stuff, they just went like, look, comics are
I'm
goofy.
not gonna lie. That made me
Comics are
fucking
fucking
laugh out loud.
goofy. That was really funny. But like
That to me
they
was like
did
the moment where I was like, oh my
the
god.
monkeys on typewriters is just all I was thinking about.
Well, and that's why I think this is a really fun movie, and that's why, yeah, that's why I think it's a really fun movie,
There
and
it is.
that's like why I want them to just admit that it's like a cartoon. But I don't think that that works for the average audience member. Like the average audience member
I
is
don't
gonna be like,
know.
what the fuck is going on? Like,
I I don't
I don't
who are
know.
these
My
people? Like,
I
it
was at
might
a
pique
small theater,
interest.
but they loved it.
It might pique interest, but I just don't think it like translates to have all this like
I
crazy
think it
off the
does.
wall
And
stuff.
I hope it sticks because I hope that to me helps differentiate it from the MCU, where the MCU has that little bit of grittiness. They do explain. Sometimes it sucks, and sometimes it is just like I don't need you to give Taskmaster a fucking computer in their head to make them do. Just have Taskmaster do all the stupid like mimicry stuff. Sometimes,
everything
but
doesn't
I
need to
do
be
think that
explained.
helps set it apart. It helps set it apart from DC and Marvel, where Marvel's a little bit more real and DC is a little bit more of the like just fantastical whatever this thing happens.
Well, I just think that's the nature of comic books versus comic book movies that we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Well, no, but that's what I mean. I feel it felt more like a comic book like this. In comics, this weird shit happens, and no one questions it. No one feels the need to explain it, really. And that's in this movie. They did a lot of weird shit without really feeling the need to explain it, and I liked versus like sort of showing that that isn't what the difference between comics and comic book movies is. It doesn't have to be the difference. You know, you don't have to explain everything. You can just do a giant monster or monkeys or a different universe or whatever, and it just is.
Yeah, I think that the thing this Superman movie really thrives on is how true it is to its source material. I think that like it really strives to be like almost like a perfect amalgamation of Superman comics in a way, which is commendable. It's straight up like genuinely like the fact that you can tell that Gunn and the writers and everyone read and poured their hearts into it. Like they read comics, they really dived into the history and was like, what can we take? What can we use? What would be a fun Easter egg? What would be a niche thing? What is something that I can fit in to later explain certain stuff when I introduce a fucking random as fuck Metamorpho series or some shit? Like what can I do? I don't know. For me, I think the levity of it really worked because if you're at 100 the entire time, you never feel that moment of tension. But also if you're at 0 the entire time, like I would say like Thor Love and Thunder is at 0 the entire time, you never feel the tension regardless. So like for me, this did a good meld of when I felt when it was trying to get its political messaging across, I understood that, and I felt like it was tastefully done without fully like disregarding the situation. But also when it did moments of levity, it knew that, like, for example, the guy gets fucking shot in the head. The one guy,
Yeah.
the one Superman fan. That shit was fucking horrifying.
Well,
Yeah.
but that's
And
what I mean. That's my problem. Is like, how come? Am I supposed to be horrified, or am I supposed to think Lex is ridiculous? Like, which is it? You know what I mean? Like,
I
Lex is
think it's
locking up his ex girlfriends in an interdimensional prison, in a pocket dimension prison.
that's fair.
But then he caps that guy in the head, and
yeah,
that should be
but I
like
think
that should be an upsetting moment. It is upsetting, but I mean, like, I don't know what
but
world
honestly,
we're in.
locking up his ex-girlfriends was kind of upsetting to me too. Like it was just like, okay, so extra
If you
dimensional
can't
prison,
have,
people that piss off. He just is a complete sociopath,
he's a control
narcissistic
freak.
sociopath, and that really, to me, really like was kind of the like, oh, Lex is kind of horrifying. Like he's kind of that to me. Like maybe if it was maybe it was supposed to be played for that was a little funny at first, and then I was like, dude, really like that's really fucked up. They're making Lex more fucked up than I think he is in a lot of other comics and stuff too, where like and sometimes he is, but they're going for a more like he's just has no sense of like caring what the fuck other people think.
Yeah,
Then he
because at the
goes,
end of the day, he just cares about his ego.
Yeah. He says he cares about other people. He does not.
No, he doesn't. I mean, if he did, he wouldn't have let the black hole reach Metropolis.
Yeah.
but then he goes, next I'll kill that reporter you're always talking to, Clark Kent. How has this man studied Superman for as long as he has and knows all of his moves and doesn't know that he's Clark Kent?
No,
Well,
I saw that as
they
a he does
explained
know.
that. No.
I,
They
I mean, I saw it as a he does know because he made the clone and everything. Like you would have seen him.
But the thing is, they explain about the glasses, though, is that the glasses
Yeah, they do.
make people see him as a different person.
If he tracked anything, I'm just saying, they said he was like studying Superman for so
Yeah,
long and he
yeah,
doesn't
that's the
know it's
thing.
Clark Kent. It's a little
Lois
weird.
does say also the glasses can only do so much, and like you only figure out
I just thought that was a
so
little silly.
much.
I don't know. I in my head, I just think like Lois probably caught him and then was like the first to catch him, and then immediately was like, okay, you need to fix this, this, and this so that you don't get caught. And then he started like, oh, okay, I'll start flying from this direction, make it like I'll run and then fly from this direction, etc., etc.
Yeah, I read it as a Lex does know, and he's telling him he knows. He's going,
But that's
"Fuck you, I know
ambiguous enough.
exactly who you are."
I now
Okay,
get what you guys
I
are
like
saying.
that more.
That's what I thought he was going like, "Hey, you lost, and also I know everything about you."
I gotcha.
Um,
Okay, I like that more.
Um,
yeah, that's
I thought the final fight was fun.
yeah. I
All
think
the
that's
action was
something
awesome.
they did just really drop most of the humor at that last act, which I think helped because it really got
Well,
the
it
whole like,
elevated
okay,
the
now it's
political
serious.
thing.
Now it's the political well, beyond the political thing, just the fights and the Lex opening up the other dimension and stuff was just like when you drop a lot of the fights, you sort of go like, okay, this is it. This is the big deal. This is like where everything actually matters, and it feels more serious.
The engineer was really fun. Also, I thought that was really cool.
I
I really enjoyed it. I thought like it's a creative use of her powers, and plus she's a character that
yeah,
I know Gunn is setting up for the Authority. So like that's like a good
I
way to
just didn't
see
like
her
the
in.
actress, to be honest.
Really interesting.
I just didn't like the actress, and some of the lines were very like, "Yes, that is why I gave up my humanity for you to help defeat Superman." It's like,
Yeah,
okay, thanks, exposition.
yeah,
Like,
That's fair.
okay,
yeah.
like it felt her delivery and the lines that she was given just
To me, it just felt like she
didn't
was
really
being
do it
blunt because
for
she
me.
like had that part of her removed. At least for me, that's the way
Maybe,
I read it. Was like
yeah,
she is being blunt because she is blunt. Period. Like she is now just a tool, and so she just deals with. That's why she's like, "Can I drill?" Like as soon as she sees the Fortress of Solitude, she's like, "Okay, beeline, direct route. Like I need to handle this
yeah,
ASAP." Instead of being like planning or thinking out ahead of time, which is why Lex is like, "Call, like, come back. We're gonna need more people."
yeah.
Um,
I I did like how they
try to kill Clark because I really like
no,
that. That shit was
I
horrifying. The nanites in the
I just
lungs
completely lost
was.
my train of thought. Actually, I just completely lost my train of thought. So you can just say whatever the fuck you were
Oh,
saying.
okay,
'Cause
sorry.
I don't know where I. No, I wasn't you. It was just I was just like, what was I saying?
But I really do like that whole thing with like the nanites in his lungs was like actually horrifying.
Yeah,
But I kind of love it because it made me actually like it's a thing where it's like, how do you make Superman feel like he's in danger? Oh, okay, we fill his lungs with nanites so he can't breathe.
well, also like he was in danger, and that's something that I like that he was like. It's not just kryptonite. He's not a straight up god. It's
True.
kryptonite is really bad,
It's only in
but
the one
like
part
you
with
can beat him.
Metamorpho.
Even beyond that, yeah, even beyond that, he was still getting like punched and stuff, and it still clearly was. I mean, there was no kryptonite when the hammer or whatever was hitting him. I guess technically it's a Kryptonian, but still, like it sort of answers that a lot of people go like, well, if kryptonite's the only thing, it's not the only thing. It's just the thing that is really good at it, at killing him.
I thought the action sequences were great. The Mr. Terrific
Yeah,
sequence was like probably my
yeah.
favorite.
That was sick.
Mr. Terrific was
He was
great.
just a fun character in general. I wish we got a little more like Green Lantern projections. I
Those are
loved how it
Yeah,
looked, but I wanted more from it.
middle finger.
yeah,
Oh god.
yeah. They
Yeah,
really
That
did
that
not
or
shy off
that's like
from Guy
moments
being
where like I
an
can
asshole.
understand if someone was like, oh, okay, this is too much comedy. But like also
Yeah,
that's
I
Guy
think for
Gardner in
Guy,
general.
well,
Yeah.
yeah,
but
It works for
I think for Guy, that's
I
where maybe you take out comedy elsewhere to leave Guy being an asshole
that's kind of
because
what
he
I
is.
felt is like if there was one
Yeah,
character that was a jokey guy, it should be Guy. Like he should be like I think it would be way more impactful if he was good. But you
weirdly
also could have
enough.
just done that with Mr. Terrific. You could have made Guy an asshole, but not like the funniest guy, but Mr. Terrific be like the funny guy. And he's hilarious.
I do.
But Guy and then everyone else being like a little like jokey, like Jimmy Olsen just being like
Bro,
a
Jimmy was
total
so funny
joke.
though. I
Yeah,
loved I
Yeah.
loved I love him
I
being
like.
a ladies
He was
man
good.
because that's so like golden age esque fucking Jimmy Olsen and like such a distill and him just like not wanting it's
Yeah,
he's trapped in a sitcom. That's basically his life. Is he's trapped in a sitcom. He wants minimal like drama and like relationship problems and shit like that and everything just keeps pushing him in a How I Met Your Mother situation.
yeah.
It's really
I
funny.
I think like yeah, Jimmy was really good. I do question the choice of Guy. He was really good. He was acted out and written really well. He was Guy, but I do question. I guess maybe not for the Superman movie. You don't want a good Green Lantern, but I do kind of question the like Green Lantern was one of those characters that was seen as a joke because the last movie wasn't good, and he just generally has not gotten much respect in most media. And this kind of could have been a chance for Green Lantern to be cool again and kind of make people like him again. And I wonder how the sort of general audiences, the non comic book audiences, might see it as, oh man, I guess Green Lantern just kind of always sucks, even in a good movie.
So I think the reason
Especially because they're doing
why,
that show. They're supposed to.
well,
Yeah.
they're doing the show with Hal as the mentor and John Stewart as the like new recruit. But I think the reason why they chose Guy was because they didn't want a Green Lantern overshadowing Superman, and Guy is just like
Yeah.
the perfect like C-list Green Lantern because there's so many of them at this point that like,
Yeah.
and he works for what the comedy like needed. Like he honestly, weirdly enough, I was worried that they were going to make him too much of an asshole. They actually didn't, which was nice.
Yeah, he was
He was
he was
kind
a
of tamed in
stupid
comparison to
asshole. Yeah.
his comic version or even like the
He was
animated series version.
yeah, he was too stupid to be really mean, which was good,
Yeah,
which helped.
because it's a very
Um
thin line between him being like unlikable and like just
yeah.
likable enough because he's
Hawkgirl was cool. It was a little bit of a shame they didn't put enough of her. Like I
yeah
felt like they could have done a little bit more. We had a lot of Mr. Terrific, a lot of Green
phenomenal.
Lantern, like two Hawk
Mr.
Girls.
Terrific was really fun, and I did
Yeah,
love
he
the
was
bits
really
with
good.
Crypto. That was
It
funny.
felt-
Yeah, with Crypto,
Yeah.
the fight scene was really good.
It felt like in general that they cut a lot of stuff. Like it felt like there was more Metamorpho. It felt like there was more Hawk Girl, maybe even,
Release the
and
gun to
it
my
seems
head
like
cut.
they kind of pared it down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't mind it because this was a complicated movie. It was a little bit of a there was a, like we keep saying there's a lot of threads to follow, even outside, even not leading into like spin-offs and stuff. There was a lot of stuff in this movie of just going back and forth and fighting Big Monster, but Big Monster was just a smokescreen and a lot of stuff going on. So I see the point of them cutting stuff down, and I'm glad they did because I feel like would have gotten a little too much. But at the same time,
I
I
just
guess
really enjoyed Metamorpho, so I just wanted to see
Yeah.
more of him.
No, his
yeah,
fight scene,
he was good.
his like every scene with him for me, like using his powers was I think that's my favorite fight scene. It's like the moment where he's like turning into a rocket or when
No,
he's like
I'm turning into acid.
yeah, like
Yeah,
yeah,
that was good.
bro. Also,
No, what are you gonna do? Splash us? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The
Also, I really
sulfuric
like that
acid.
guy because he played Victor Zaz in the Gotham TV
Yeah.
show.
Yeah,
So
he's really good. He's in Barry
yeah, he's
Well,
in Barry
too.
also.
Like he's a really good actor.
The practical costumes look awesome. You know? The
Bro,
practical's
when
good.
when
Practical.
he was
The
crying,
practical is so
practical
good that
fan.
the CGI looks less good. Maybe. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm like
know.
everything practical that you can make practical. I'm always like, do it practical.
that's why
if
the
you
flying
can.
looked really good because I mean there was a ton
Yeah.
of like practical flying shots.
Oh my God, James Gunn loves
I had
that
a couple
like, fucking
CGI
fisheye
issues.
flying shot.
Yeah, he loves it.
But I was gonna say I also I really love the casting of Lois. She was so fucking good. That is
She's a
genuinely,
good
I think,
actress.
perfect casting because she
All of the
nailed
actors
down
are
the
really
character
good.
so well. A character that doesn't take shit, is always questioning, even in like stuff against like people that she enjoys. It's like that interview scene
Yeah.
was the perfect way to really get her character down, where you're like, oh,
She's almost a little upset at herself for going so hard.
yes, but that's how she is in the comics.
She can't help it. Yeah, no. Yeah, but she can't help it. But you could see her like and acted really well that in the scene she's kind of like, I wish I could just drop it, but I can't.
Yeah, I have
And
to
it's
follow this
gonna-
line through.
Yeah, it's gonna fuck up our relationship, but I gotta do it.
But it's so nice. It's for me. She really and I love how she goes to the Justice Gang. I was gonna say League, and
Yeah.
I love that she's just like, you guys have to help them. Like she gets the information, she does her own work, and then she's like, oh, damn, okay, this is above my pay grade. Like I get that I can't do this myself, so I need to make sure that I can get Clark's friends to go and help. Which also, while that they're building the Hall of Justice, and while that he told his identity.
Yeah. Who was it? It was they said like Lord Corp.
Yeah, Lord, which is
was
Maxwell
doing it.
Lord.
So I guess they're just yeah. So they're just going right for that. I guess
So
right off the
in
bat.
the original comics, Maxwell Lord was kind of like a secret funder of the Justice League, and then in the 2000s they made him a villain. So
Yeah.
originally he was kind of just like a secret financial backer of the Justice League that was like genuinely a good guy.
Not even secret apparently
Yeah.
in this movie.
Well, he
They
literally
just
says, "Yeah,
openly-
sponsored by
Yeah,
Lord
yeah.
Tech."
Yeah.
Later on in the comics, he became a villain in the 2000s.
Yeah.
He's been dead for years. Like he became a villain and then immediately got killed by Wonder Woman and has never been resurrected since, which is really
Yeah,
funny because like that's what people remember as him being evil. But that's like I think literally like 10% of his on-screen time in the comics because he's just always like helping the Justice League usually. But
yeah.
they're setting that up.
I have a lot of
There was
questions
the,
for that Justice League setup
JSA
with
mural
Lord
on the
like
wall.
what?
There's a JSA mural on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, damn! I didn't even notice
yeah,
that.
I did see that.
Yeah, I saw Wildcat and shit.
So that's what like I wonder. I have a lot of questions about like the Justice League that they're setting up. Like, okay, so is Lord going to be a villain, or is Gunn going to do what he likes to do and go retro and just not have him be a villain?
I think he's gonna be a villain just because he's trying to send a message of like all millionaires are He like it seemed like that with like the whole like that one scene with Lord where he was like
Yeah.
talk. It felt like
I
he
mean,
was
that gets hard when he puts in Batman, but that
Yeah.
message gets a little tricky. But
Max.
yeah, Sean Gunn is Max in
yeah,
this
yeah, Sean
universe,
Gunn.
which to me,
Also,
yeah.
like, who's gonna be the Justice League lineup? Yeah,
Fucking Bradley Cooper being his dad.
Yeah, that
yeah. Oh
was
my God, Bradley Cooper, and the Peacemaker cameo. was
yeah.
really good. That was really good.
Which was he wearing his helmet when he did that cameo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he
Okay.
was. So what I was saying, I wonder with the Justice League, like, what the final lineup is going to be. Are they going to keep Guy, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific? Like, they were good, but they're not really popular. Like, are they just going to go for the sort of the most popular of the, like, Wonder Woman, Batman?
I mean, he has stated
maybe
that
Martian Manhunter.
they're working on casting Wonder Woman right now.
My
Yeah.
thought is that
I
they're
just
going
wonder
to
if
do
he's gonna.
Terrifics,
Yeah.
have them branch off, because Justice Gang makes it a joke. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way that
Yeah.
that's in my mind that's going to be like the Justice League.
But I was
Yeah.
wondering if it's going to be a Thunderbolt situation where, like,
yeah.
it turns the Justice Gang turns into the Justice League. Or
It is
Justice
strange that they were just
Society.
like
they could
helping
turn it to
Superman with no
JLA.
issue.
Yeah,
Justice League
yeah,
of America, specifically.
JLA, JSA, something like that. And that's why I wonder, like, is it gonna be like, okay, the three of them leave, like they get cycled out, or maybe like Guy leaves and gets replaced by John, and then it happens slowly, or are they just gonna the next movie?
I think
it just is what it is.
I think it's going to be like a slowly over time. They're going to be like cycling them out because they're going to get cameos apparently in Peacemaker. They're going to probably get cameos in other shows and other movies. So like my idea is they're probably going to be like, oh, I gotta do this, so I'm going to be off.
I mean, yet
and then
the DC movies don't have that many heroes at the moment.
Yeah,
since
no.
they reset it.
So
so there's only a limited number of people who can show
I
up.
wouldn't be surprised though. Gunn has been talking about a secret project that he's like which is the next one that he's like not leading, but he's like really excited for from the DC studios, which he hasn't revealed or hinted to at all. I'm betting my money it's probably Justice Society.
Yeah.
Like JSA, like World War II era.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's going to be a while for real Justice League because he can't do Batman. He doesn't want to step on.
Well, he doesn't want to do Batman yet, but he's doing Clayface.
He does, but he doesn't want to step. Obviously, Batman's going to happen eventually, but he doesn't want to step on their toes. The new movie they just finished the script. I was surprised that they showed off Supergirl. Like, I thought
I liked it.
I was surprised that no, I liked it and I love Supergirl, but I was surpised that the end credits that wasn't the end credits scene. That the end credits were just like little joke scenes, and then Supergirl.
Me off.
Yeah,
I thought it made sense because they wanted to make sure people.
He did that on purpose.
Yeah,
he said he did that.
He didn't want people that were like not committed fans that weren't going to wait around for the credits to already get that taste. I feel like,
yeah.
But also, I really liked the Supergirl cameo because for me, it immediately was like, okay, here's the difference between her and Clark, and you get it immediately.
Yeah.
One, you see she's like stumbling in drunk, which is really funny for me, and you can tell that she's like obviously like dealing with shit, which works because she's a survivor of like literally her planet blowing up.
She actually remembers shit.
Plus, like explaining Crypto as like her dog for me immediately solved the problem of like, okay, but where the fuck did he get the dog from? Because that I'm not gonna lie, that was in the back of my mind the entire time where I was like, wait, but if you're just now training him, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But that makes sense if it's Supergirl's dog, which he just recently like whatever, like she got out of time vortex or whatever the fuck. Which that was also really funny that he was just like jumping her and she was fine with it. And he's like, yeah, this is why I can't fucking train the dog. Like this girl doesn't fucking
yeah.
I don't know. For me, it was a really good intro for like being like, here's this character, here's how they're different, and here's some fun, and you get the dog next time. You get more of the dog.
There's a lot of places to go, and they did the good job of laying the groundwork in that they didn't do too much, they didn't make him too involved but they gave you enough that after seeing this, if you see a Supergirl trailer, if you see a Mr. Terrific thing, you can go, oh, I liked him in the movie, I'm gonna go see him. Oh, I liked her. I'm gonna go see what her deal is about, you know,
Can't wait
and
for
I
all
think
the
they
Mr.
did a good
Terrific
job
fans to come out of the woodworks and be
yeah.
like, I've been a Mr. Terrific fan since day. What's his fucking catchphrase, motherfucker? What's his catchphrase, huh? Huh? Fair
Written on
play?
his arm.
Good. Motherfuckers
It
don't
was
know
on
his
his arm, but you wouldn't
catchphrase.
know that it's on his
Mr.
arm.
They
Terrific
don't.
in Fortnite.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Mr.
that's true.
Terrific
Now all
engineer
now
in Fortnite.
now they're gonna know it because of fucking Fortnite. God damn it.
Yeah.
Well, do you know that he's the third
Fortnite.
Mr. Terrific? Ha. Ha. Motherfuckers.
They probably didn't
Is
know
he
that.
in the movie?
In the comics he is.
In the comics?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say in the movie.
They
Is
didn't
that
say
the
anything yet.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
doing
no,
the
they didn't. Yeah. Also, T Spheres.
Blue Beetle thing?
Yeah,
Okay,
I can't wait
anyway.
for the Mr. Terrific TV show to be with the first Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, we're gonna go through each one in chronological order.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Which, you
a
know.
lot of Easter eggs in the prison. It looked like just a lot of humans.
Yeah, it was
but
just a lot
maybe,
of humans.
You know, if I could pause it, I could try and see something.
I
But
thought
But
I
again,
saw a
then-
couple stuff, but yeah, I'll have to see it again.
Even
just to
even
really...
I'm
more.
not sure.
That's even more room to just like have another character come out of nowhere and be like, "I was in a prison." It's like, all right, fucking sure, whatever. Like, I believe you.
Yeah. But I like
I
Metamorpho.
thought-
I like Metamorpho, like reciting the recipe for like everything that he's putting together, because that's how he has to like conjure it into his mind.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, did he just do a nuke? By the way, like that's what I took it
Yeah.
as. Like he split a hydrogen.
Yeah, he
no,
did.
like literally, like he split
Yeah,
a
yeah.
hydrogen atom. That's what I thought it was for a second.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that was maybe gonna be like, okay, he killed himself. He like made a star in his hands.
Bro, I would
and
be-
melted himself.
I would have been livid if that was the last
Yeah,
appearance of
I
Venom.
thought it was-
I would have actually gone and killed
I
Gunn
thought it was
I
myself.
gonna
thought
be
they were
like-
gonna kill somebody like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like he's gonna blow himself up to save Superman and his kid.
I thought any of those obscure
do something like
characters
that.
were gonna die. To be honest,
Yeah.
I
Like,
was
I thought
also
that's why
worried-
they picked like 3 randos.
That Metamorpho
Yeah.
wasn't going to be able to reconstitute his body after the acid thing because he was just ahead for a bit, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, is it like, oh, I have to
I thought it
have
was gonna be like
Deadpool
he can't
healing
do
like
anything until he gets back.
10 hours later or some shit?"
Yeah.
How was Superman just chilling in like the anti-proton river?
Because he's fucking
Because he's
Superman.
yeah,
dude. I
that's
don't know.
really
A nuke exploded on his back. He had a power up. I don't know, man.
most of the answers to question is because he's Superman. Like
I think the other answer might have been because those guys who were fighting him seem to be holding on to him a little bit.
that was
too.
also true. Yeah,
I think the answer might have been like when Mr. Terrific said we can't go in it. I think he meant regular ass humans,
like we don't have the tech for it.
metahumans or people in like
Hmm.
mech suits.
Hmm.
Because I think like outside of the T spheres and all of his stuff, like he's just a dude.
Also, I
So-
can't wait for all the people to say that he killed the Ultraman.
Oh, so
Oh.
I was talking to Luke, and Luke and I were saying that, or Luke said that they're definitely setting up Crime Syndicate. That's why he was thrown into a black
That
hole.
makes
is
sense,
That they're
then.
just going to set up a Crime Syndicate. You
Yeah.
know, he's going to get this. He's going to land on another planet.
I was saying, was that supposed to be just some random pocket dimension, or was that the what's it called, Phantom Zone, or whatever the fuck?
Yeah,
I
they
think it's
didn't
just
call
some
it the
random black
Phantom
hole.
Zone.
No, negative
They
zone.
just said it was a
Yeah, Phantom
pocket
Zone.
dimension that he just ripped.
Yeah. What the fuck was the weird monster guy?
Mr. Handsome.
Yeah, because like that's what I was like. Was that supposed to be a?
Supposedly,
I don't
that's
know
a
what reference
creation
that
of.
was.
Supposedly, that is a creation of Lex in the comics.
Oh,
Okay.
It's some old shit.
I thought either it was a
it's
white
very
Martian or
Kirby-esque.
Cadmus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I thought
thought
it
it was a white Martian.
that's what I thought. I thought it was supposed to be like also like okay, Lex didn't create a pocket dimension. He just accidentally opened the Phantom Zone, and then you get some weird Phantom Zone monster.
He made
Just
boom
fucking-
tubes though.
I thought they were doing that. I thought
Yeah.
those were boom tubes. I guess they are, but
That's what I took them.
I
I took them
wanted
as
them to be
unrefined boom
more-
tubes.
Yeah.
yeah. I
Like
guess that's
humans
true.
making boom tubes, and then there's new god boom tubes, which are so perfected
Yeah.
that they don't need like a physical
Yeah.
thing. You know?
Like
Gotcha.
the sort of like Lex gets the science. He's just still with our shitty technology.
Yeah, he needs like
that's the best
new
he can
tech to be able to reach that
Yeah.
height.
Sort of like the Marvel sort of. I'm thinking of when Rocket Raccoon and Iron Man were talking, and he's like, "Oh, I did," and he's like, "Yeah, okay, you're the smartest guy on your planet." Like that's
Yeah.
So last
same
thing that we
thing,
should talk about though is we didn't talk about like the twist of his parents supposedly
Yeah,
setting
I
him
know.
there for evil
But yeah,
purposes.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I think that might be my biggest nitpick, honestly, is like his mom and dad being, because the only reason why I say nitpick is because that immediately makes it so that Supergirl is like way less likable because she actually came from that planet, which means that she
Unless she
probably
didn't
has
know.
ideals.
Unless she didn't know.
No, but
Unless
she
his
must
parents
if
are just
that's
fucking
like,
crazy.
but like she must because she's cousins with him. So like she met the mom and dad of Kal-El. Like,
Yeah, but she's also like young.
yeah, it's just
And
they're gonna have to
so
explain that in the Supergirl movie because if she's like literally a space racist or like
yeah.
is like I deserve to rule over you because I'm Kryptonian, like they
Yeah,
need to
and
give that
the
flesh.
hard part is that it was such an important thing to the message of the movie that it would suck if they later on went, no, Lex faked it, because then it would be like, okay, so this movie you
Yeah.
just sort of undermine the
I didn't know what
theme.
to
I don't know.
believe
I
for a
kind of
while.
would have preferred it to be fake, to be honest. I hated
Yeah.
when Mister Terrific was like, "There's no way he could have faked this."
Yeah.
I was like, maybe there's a mistranslation. It is like a completely different language.
Yeah, that's why I thought I didn't know what to believe for a while. I was like, how are you telling me that linguists just broke this shit down like
Yeah,
that? Like that doesn't seem
Yeah.
right. I thought, oh, Lex is just telling people that,
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
there for
Well, I
nefarious
guess if the
purposes.
computer had the first half, theoretically, if the computer had the first half translated, you could kind of work off the rest.
Yeah, work
But like
backwards.
even then, yeah, you could kind of work backwards.
But still, he was getting it
theoretically.
independently verified, quote unquote. So like, it
Yeah.
still felt
Yeah.
like, come on, really?
I think the biggest thing for me isn't about whether it's believable. It's just that like it wrapped up so nicely with Clark, getting his true parents and realizing like it doesn't matter. It is my decisions that matter. That if they were to take it back and if they were to go like, no, what are you, stupid? You believe that? It would just kind of be like, well, now his lesson is kind of like
No,
he didn't really have to
yeah,
learn anything then. That to me is the bigger issue where it's like
That's fair.
follow
I
through.
was thrown off by it, but they tied it up pretty well.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I thought it was actually kind of an interesting twist. And yeah, again, just makes like Superman that much more of a true hero. But yeah, it is going to be about follow through with that to make it really impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the scene with his dad.
But yeah, that was really
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that was really nice. And yeah, I mean, I guess I just wanted like a little more like of those human moments, and a little less like shenanigans. I think that's they show that Superman can easily be weakened, which I think is an important part of a modern Superman story. And then I just want a little more of like the humanity and the that kind of stuff. Like the interview segment is obviously an important scene, but I did want like a little bit more of that with Lois, and just a little more like random citizen interaction. I
Sure,
thought
that's
that would
fair.
be nice.
I
But,
think
yeah.
I think those random citizen moments are like really pivotal in Superman comics, where like you see him being like, "I love your music," or like him stopping someone from hurting themselves. Like little crimes would have also been nice to see him like stop, or like, but that might have just been like stuff like you said again, cut for time. So
Yeah, it does. You do kind of run into that where like it was great. We got right into the action at the start, but you also lose some of that just getting right into the action.
like that one guy with the stand, like I would have liked one more scene with him early, even like after the fight, where like Clark is like ordering from him the next day or something, like showing like little stuff like that where you're like, oh, okay, so Clark knows who he is. One, because like this is how Clark knows who he is because he's really connected to the city. He knows people, like he spends time here, like he's really humanized. Um, but yeah, no, I agree with you, Elias. I think that is a major part that like they definitely should next time focus more on. I think I can't wait for Superman to get 5 more redesigns of his costume next time, just as Marvel likes to do with their.
Everybody's freaking out about this costume. It's just a new 52 suit.
It really is. It's fine.
Yeah, and look,
I could go
the
for
tech
less
lines.
lines.
Yeah, that's like the
well,
only
the
thing.
lines are stupid,
But
but
it's New
also
52.
like
It's the New 52.
you do have to do a little bit of visual design, or else it does get a little like too spandexy. Like you
I
have to
mean,
have something there.
we had
I'm
Brandon
surprised they
Routh, which
didn't.
is like the most like literal. Like, this is like a 1-to-1 recreation of like that's as close as you can get to like a modernized version of the classic Superman costume without it being
Yeah.
utterly ridiculous. I think like the Brandon Routh one works really well. This one I think works for okay. This is a universe where he needs like something that can survive heavy fucking
Yeah.
shit, like
I
being in
love the.
fire
Did
and
you
shit.
guys see? Did you
Surprised they
guys see
didn't
them
poke
talking
fun
about
at
the
the
trunks?
underwear. Yeah, I was gonna say. No, what do you mean?
Uh, uh, David Cornsweet
Yeah, corn
Corn
sweat.
is
sweat.
his name. Corn Sweat. But he said like they were talking about it, and James Gunn really liked it in concept, but he couldn't. It looked too goofy when they put it on, and they couldn't like make it look good. And then David Cornsweat, and that's where I'm like, damn, is this guy like actually Superman? Because he's like, maybe that's the point, that it looks goofy, because he wants to be approachable and he wants kids and people to not be scared of him. So the trunks kind of make him look a little less scary, and so he wants people to go up to him and say, "Get my cat out of the tree. Oh, help me with my groceries." Like he wants to look a little goofy so people aren't scared of him. And I was like, that's such a fucking smart way to go.
That's
Like,
so funny.
oh, it looks silly. It is.
I didn't even like my brain didn't even click that he had the trunks, which is like great
Yeah,
because
it's
it
great.
means that like the suit is so like well, it's like while like Elias said, a little bit less lines, but other than that, it's so well designed that I can't
Yeah.
even nitpick that. I didn't even know. Like my brain just completely was like, nope, this is a Superman costume.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
exactly,
works
and that's
as
what I said
a
before.
not a silhouette, but it works as a whole. You know.
Yeah,
I don't know if I
images from
said this
him in
when
the back
Elias.
is sick with the
I
cape.
don't know if I said this when Elias was gone, but like it's something that I thought about, that like, I was like, this isn't a take on Superman. This is Superman. There was a moment in the movie where I saw him and I didn't go, this is a guy playing. I was like, yeah, that's Superman. Like that just is. And so the trunks and everything, you just sort of look at him and you go like, yeah, okay,
Bro, he looks
that's what he
so
looks
much
like.
like Superman. It's like it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy how much David Cornsweat in my head looks like when you imagine Superman, he is so much how I imagine him to be. It's kind of scary a little bit. Like I'm a little bit concerned. I'm like, damn.
I was surprised that they didn't like even have like a line to poke fun at the trunks or anything, though. I mean, unless
I
I missed it.
respected it though because I feel like if you're trying to make people like take the costume seriously and take Superman seriously, I get not like there's other stuff they can poke fun at or like bring up. Like that is such a it's almost like low bearing fruit where it's like it's not worth the time. I feel like
Hanging fruit, yeah.
like there's
Yeah.
so much other shit that you can talk about like oh Superman doesn't kill Superman like other stuff where it's like oh property damage like they even mentioned that like
Yeah. And it had, again, what I really liked is that they went a little bit like, yeah, there's trunks. Fuck off about it. Like if you don't like it, don't watch a Superman movie. If you want, oh, I want a realistic like there was a post I saw
it's
that
unapologetic.
someone says like the yeah, exactly. It's the like the Zack Snyder fans are like, but I don't like the trunks, and I think Superman should be serious. So then maybe you don't like Superman, and that's okay. You don't have to. I'm sure Superman would be fine with that if he would be like, yeah, you don't have to like him, but if you're gonna watch a Superman movie, you need the trunks, you need the big Godzilla monsters, you need the other dimensions, because at the end of the day, like that is what he is, and I think it's nice that they didn't pretend to not be a Superman movie.
Yeah. So I think that covers everything. I give this 4.5 T spheres out of 5.
For a second, I was like, I'll
Oh,
give it a 5, but I was like, no, I don't want to give it a 5. I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4.5. What's his name? Mr. Handsome's out of 5, and now Elias to give the 2.
I give
I'm
this
just
a 1 star.
Trying to think of my unit.
I only didn't give this a 5 because of the Batman. That to me is like the perfect comic movie.
I'm gonna give this 3 baby Joeys out of 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys heard it here. Elias hates Superman. No.
Comment below if you also hate Superman. Go
Does
watch
Joey
this movie.
is Joey gonna have powers?
He's supposed
Or is
to
he
be.
just gonna be funky looking?
So in the books, he's
What do
supposed.
you
He's green
Bro,
and he looks like a fish man. He is
man
funky
has
looking.
literally been
He's
kidnapped.
funky looking.
Man,
I didn't say it was his fault.
Man was immediately kidnapped. He's probably like 4 or 5 months
Okay,
old.
I'm sorry. The
And
green
immediately you
baby
went for
looks
the
totally
jugular.
normal.
You were like, "Is this
The
kid gonna be fucking
the
ugly?"
The green baby looks like every other human
He's
baby I've
supposed
ever
to have
seen. He is
powers.
not
Damn,
funky
that's
looking.
crazy.
He's supposed to have molecular powers not dissimilar to
Okay.
Metamorpho, but outside of his
Okay.
body, so it
That's-
doesn't affect his actual body.
That's so funny.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
In the
it's
book.
just,
So
I
like
was not
wait, like he
expecting it.
just creates shit or he like changes other
He
shit?
can change stuff. Like
Yeah, he can like
Oh,
remove
right, that's
specific
really cool.
chemicals from stuff.
Okay.
Like,
Cool.
comment, subscribe, support your local theater, follow
Yeah.
us on Instagram and eBay.
Put comments about how mad you are about my camera.
Yeah,
You
comment.
think Joey's funky looking?
Comment if you think Joe's funky.
Comment. Do you think he's a normal baby or is he funky looking?
And
video.
bye bye.